Hi, I'm Vanessa, and until last night, I thought I had a pretty decent life. I'm 29, running my own small but thriving interior design business, and I've been married to James for 5 years. Well, at least I was until his mother Diana finally succeeded in her mission to destroy our marriage. Honey, you really outdid yourself with the renovation designs for the Johnson project, James said, wrapping his arms around me that morning. That was the last normal moment we had. Those clients were so happy. They've already referred 3 more to me. Maybe we can finally plan that vacation we've been talking about? About that, Mom thinks we should invest in her new business venture instead. I felt my stomach drop. Classic Diana, always finding ways to insert herself into our financial decisions. Your mother doesn't get a vote in how we spend our money, James. She's just looking out for us. You know how successful her other investments have been. Yeah, successful at keeping us under her thumb. It started small. Suggestions about our house decor, comments about my cooking, hints about how I should dress. Then came the surprise visits, the guilt tripping when we made plans without her, and the constant manipulation of James. You never want to include my mother in anything, he complained. Include her? She's literally in our house 4 times a week. She reorganized our kitchen while we were at work. That evening at the mandatory weekly family dinner, everything finally imploded. Diana was in rare form, wearing that fake, sympathetic smile I'd grown to hate. I just worry about you, dear. Running a small business is so unstable. James needs someone he can depend on. Mom, Vanessa's business is doing great, James said weakly. Of course it is, sweetie. But wouldn't it be better if she took that position I found at your cousin's firm? More security? More time for family? You mean more time for you to control every aspect of our lives? The words burst out before I could stop them. Diana's eyes widened in manufactured shock. I only want what's best for my son. James, are you going to let her speak to me this way? The silence that followed told me everything I needed to know. James stared at his plate, avoiding my eyes. She's your mother, Vanessa. You need to apologize. I stood up slowly, my chair scraping against the floor. No, James, I don't. What I need is a husband who stands up for his wife. But clearly you're still just your mother's son. Don't walk away from this table, young lady, Diana commanded. Watch me. I grabbed my purse. By the way, Diana, I took that job offer you found and turned it down. Just like I'm turning down this marriage. Congratulations, you finally won. Vanessa, wait, James called after me. Call your mother if you need someone to hold your hand. I'm done. I walked out of that house with my head high, ignoring Diana's theatrical gasps and James's weak protests. 5 years of marriage ended over salmon and asparagus, served with a heaping side of maternal manipulation. But this isn't the end of my story. It's just the beginning of Diana's worst nightmare. Girl, you did not just walk out of a 5-year marriage over dinner, Sarah said, sliding a glass of wine across her kitchen counter. My best friend since college and the city's most brutal divorce attorney wasn't just offering comfort. She was gathering intel. You know what's crazy? I've seen this exact scenario before. Remember James's ex, Lauren? The one who supposedly went psycho and started drama with his mom? Honey, Diana systematically destroyed that girl, and she wasn't the first. I've handled 3 divorces where she was the common denominator. Let me pull up some files. Sarah opened her laptop, revealing a pattern that made my stomach turn. Look at this. Lauren's original complaint mentioned psychological manipulation, constant interference, and suspicious accidents at work after confronting Diana. The second case, Jessica from 2018, documented similar patterns. Then there was Michelle in 2016. How did you get these cases? Small city, limited number of divorce attorneys. These women all came to me. I've been building a file on Diana for years, waiting for someone strong enough to use it. My phone buzzed with texts from James. Can we please talk? Mom says she's willing to forgive you if you apologize. Classic manipulation tactic, Sarah scoffed. Look at this pattern. Every time one of these women stood up to her, Diana would position herself as the forgiving party. Just then, my phone rang. Unknown number. Is this Vanessa? I'm Rachel, Diana's former best friend. We need to talk. An hour later, I sat across from Rachel at a quiet cafe. I watched her destroy 3 marriages before yours, but this time, I've got proof. 20 years of friendship means I know where all the bodies are buried. Why come forward now? Because I'm done watching her ruin lives. She tried to destroy my catering business when I confronted her about Kevin's ex-wife, James's brother's marriage that she completely erased. Kevin was married before? For 2 years, until Diana systematically destroyed his wife's mental health. Poor girl documented everything in therapy. I kept copies of all the records. Rachel pulled out a thick folder. Diana doesn't know I have these. Text messages, emails, therapy notes, everything showing her pattern of manipulation. My phone lit up again. James. Mom's really upset. Please come home so we can fix this. He still doesn't see it, does he? Rachel asked softly. No, and he never will unless... Sarah called just then. Hey, remember that big charity gala Diana chairs every year? Guess who just got hired to handle the decor? You're kidding. Nope. And guess who's on the planning committee? Our friend Rachel. Think it's time for a little public revelation? I looked at Rachel, who nodded slowly. The annual gala is her pride and joy. All her social circles will be there. It's perfect. Well then, I smiled for the first time in days. Let's give Diana the recognition she truly deserves. The charity gala was in full swing when I walked in, clipboard in hand, pretending to check on decorations. Diana was holding court near the champagne fountain, barely containing her shock at seeing me there. What is she doing here? She hissed to James, loud enough for nearby guests to hear. I'm just doing my job, Diana. The committee hired my company for the event design. This is completely inappropriate. James, do something? Actually, Rachel stepped forward, champagne glass in hand. I recommended her. She does beautiful work, doesn't she? Almost as beautiful as the work you did destroying Kevin's first marriage? The surrounding guests quieted, sensing drama. Diana's face turned pale. Rachel, you're drunk. You don't know what you're talking about. Oh, but I do. Should we talk about how you systematically destroyed Amanda's career? Or how about those mysterious phone calls to her boss? James stepped forward, confusion evident on his face. Mom, what's she talking about? Kevin was married before? More manipulation, more lies, Sarah chimed in, joining our little circle. Just like with Lauren, Jessica, and Michelle, I have all their cases right here. She patted her designer briefcase. All these women had one thing in common. They married your sons. And they all ended up with documented evidence of harassment, manipulation, and psychological abuse. Want to see the papers, Diana? The whispers started spreading through the crowd. Diana grabbed James's arm. These women are lying. They're just jealous of our close family relationship. Tell them, honey. Let him see the evidence, Diana, I said calmly, pulling out copies of emails and messages. Let everyone see who you really are. Those are private family matters, she shrieked, lunging for the papers. Like the private matters of how you sabotaged Lauren's job interviews? Or how you spread rumors about Michelle's mental health? James picked up one of the fallen papers, his hands shaking. Mom, this is your email. You told Lauren's potential employer she had a drug problem? I was protecting you. By lying? By destroying innocent women's lives? The crowd had grown larger, phones recording the meltdown. Diana's carefully curated social image was crumbling. Everything I did was for my sons. These women weren't good enough for you. No, Diana, I stepped closer. You did it for yourself, because you can't stand the idea of sharing your son's love with anyone else. James was reading through more documents, his face getting paler by the second. There are police reports here, harassment complaints. Mom, what did you do? Nothing that wasn't necessary. I know what's best for my children. Like you knew what was best when you sent those anonymous letters to Amanda's therapist? Rachel added, making her think she was going crazy? The whispers had turned to open gossip. Diana's social circle was witnessing her unraveling in real time. This event is over, Diana announced, trying to maintain dignity. Everyone out. Actually, one of the board members stepped forward. I believe we need to discuss your position as committee chair, immediately. 1 week after the gala disaster, my phone wouldn't stop buzzing with notifications. The video of Diana's meltdown had made its rounds through every social circle in town. Have you seen the latest? Diana just got voted off 3 charity boards, Sarah said, dropping a stack of divorce papers on my desk. And your interior design bookings have tripled since the gala. Karma's finally catching up to her. Did you hear what happened at her country club? They revoked her membership. 20 years of social climbing, gone in one night. My phone lit up with James's number for the 100th time. Please, we need to talk. I've been seeing a therapist. I understand now what Mom did to us. There is no us anymore, James. You had 5 years to see it. I'll do better. I'm moving out of Mom's house, getting my own place. Little late for that. You should have moved out when we got married. Vanessa, please. Mom's losing everything. Her friends, her social status. Even Kevin isn't speaking to her anymore. Sounds like natural consequences to me. How's she handling that? She's not doing well. Keeps saying everyone's conspiring against her. Won't leave the house. Not my problem anymore. Sign the papers, James. 2 days later, Rachel called with an update. Diana tried to join the River Valley Women's Club. They turned her down flat. Called her a liability to their reputation. Good. After what she did to all those women, she deserves every bit of this. My business phone rang. Another booking request. This time from one of Diana's former social circle friends. We'd love to have you redesign our entire first floor. Your work at the gala was exquisite despite the unfortunate interruption. Later that evening, James showed up at my office looking defeated. I signed the papers. You were right about everything. I'm so sorry I didn't see it sooner. Sometimes sorry isn't enough. You can't fix 5 years of choosing your mom over your wife. Can we at least try to be friends? No, James. We can't. You need to figure out who you are without your mom's influence. And I need to move forward without either of you. As he left, Sarah walked in with a satisfied smile. Just saw Diana at the grocery store. Nobody would even make eye contact with her. She's completely isolated. Guess she'll have plenty of time to think about her choices now. Speaking of choices, that handsome architect from the Johnson Project called again about collaboration. Maybe it's time to expand the business. I'm thinking of opening a second office downtown. Look at you, thriving without them. Best revenge is success, right? I looked out my office window at the city skyline, feeling lighter than I had in years. No, the best revenge was showing everyone exactly who Diana really is. My success is just the cherry on top. What would you do if you were in my shoes? Would you have exposed Diana publicly at her own charity gala? Or would you have chosen a different way to reveal the truth? How far would you go to get justice against someone who systematically destroyed multiple lives? If you enjoyed hearing how Diana finally faced consequences for her manipulation, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more stories about standing up to toxic people. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think about family loyalty versus speaking the truth.